And at our picnic, guess who showed up?
That's our picnic! You can't see the kettle chips!
Hello friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're jumping back into rSlash LegbeardStories. Yes, indeed. We've got some more taxonomy of Neckbeards entries from Firedrake, but this time is focusing on the Legbeards. I've been waiting for this one for quite a while because Legbeards are just such a rare specimen to find in the wild. They're much harder to classify on the whole. So I gotta give a big thank you to my researchers putting themselves in harm's way in order to uncover these Legbeards right where they live. We've also got a story from 404 Nerdy Kitten 404, which is about the Legbeard of my nightmares, which I'm pretty eager to get into considering the title. We've also got a D&D game going tonight in the Discord server. If you'd like to hop into that, you can probably catch the last little bit of it, but I do hope that you'll come back to this video if you do decide to abandon it in order to watch the session 0 of our Discord D&D game. Firedrake is running it. We've also got one of my other patrons, Tato Ferret, as well as Zuka of the Burger Beard entries. And the last two players are Strawberry Bell and Blood of Jesus, who are moderators in my Discord server. So it should be a good time, all things considered. It's been a long time since I sat down to play some D&D, so hopefully I don't embarrass myself too much. But anyways, with all those plugs and disclaimers out of the way, I guess we'll get some more plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some Legbeard cringe. A Taxonomy of Neckbeards, Defining the Species, Volume 5, The Legbeard Volume, by Firedrake. Hello, and good tidings to you, dear friends and fellow neckbeard enthusiasts. Once again, we find ourselves ready to impart to you another installment of our ongoing study and another chapter of our beloved Beardonomicon. I'll also include a cheat sheet in the description to the Beardonomicon, which was compiled by brilliant Tamago. She worked it all out, so it's a heck of a lot easier to find what you're looking for as far as beards go. I'm so grateful to you guys. This channel has taken shape in a way that I never expected, and I could not be more humbled. Thank you, thank you. If you haven't read the previous chapters of the taxonomy, we heartily recommend you to do so, as you will find it easier to understand the below definitions, as well as context for their basis among the earlier volumes. You may find volumes 1 through 4 in r// ReddX Reads, as well as narrated by ReddX on his YouTube channel. I will include those links in the description as well. Those of us here in the field wish to offer our CEO and benefactor ReddX thanks for continuing to give a voice to our research. Oh, and thank you guys for doing the research. I mean, I'm just essentially a figurehead at this point, as most CEOs are, I do suppose. But I'm doing the best that I can. You guys put in the work, I put in the work. That's how it works around here. Our efforts to unravel the mysteries surrounding the enigmatic Legbeard have taken us far from the normal comforts we enjoy as Beardicus anthropologists. We have combed the cold and unforgiving climates of Discord, braved the sweltering jungles of Reddit, and even dared the vast wastelands of Google to unearth the truths behind the myths that surround the female neckbeard, or Homo Beardicus femina. It is difficult to compile enough data to define Legbeards, insofar as to delineate a subtype that stands free of both normative Homo sapiens and Homo Beardicus males. However, our relentless and exhaustive efforts have finally borne some fruit, resulting in both a fine but definitive line between Beardicus and Beardicus femina, or more familiarly, Legbeards, as well as some examples of the Legbeard subspecies. This is cutting-edge research, you guys. I'm so excited to be involved in research that is just blossoming before our very eyes. It's an amazing feeling. So thank you guys for joining me on the journey. However, before we begin with the definitions, as has been the case with the Beardicus subspecies throughout our study, it's important for us as researchers to first agree to the characteristics which may classify a species or subspecies. To that end, the consensus seems to unequivocally stand, for the vast majority of legbeards, positive identification in the behavioral peculiarities that the subspecies evinces. It may be that Beardicus feminae are somewhat more influenced by the social contract than their male counterparts, and this may be the foremost reason as to why their outward appearances more closely adapt to social norms, at least in many cases. As will become evident in the definitions below, the Beardicus femina subspecies espouses traits quite similar to some of the already classified Beardicus specimens. The differences are indeed subtle, but nonetheless present. Legbeards desire a slightly different form of emotional sustenance. These disparities are more clearly outlined in the definitions below. Please enjoy.
Please enjoy.
Hell yes.
First up, we have the Beardicus Nekochanurai. Since the dawn of time, humanity has looked to the natural world in order to learn and better adapt to its environment, elevating certain animals to a near deific status, spawning the mimicry of other creatures' physical traits. The animal-headed masks of the Egyptians and the feathered and furred adornments of the Aztecs are examples of this adoptive nature. This nature, applied to the worship of anime, has produced a particular subspecies of neck and legbeard that has warped the traditions of old into something new, strange, and mysterious. Enter Beardicus Nekochanurai. This subspecies is perhaps the most easily identified on sight, most notably because of the placement of animal ears, often those of a cat or a fox, on their heads. A casual observer might see the beard as nothing more than a zealous fangirl, or maybe even a member of the Beardicus appropriati subspecies. It's unclear whether this adornment is the Beardicus femina version of the fedora or not. As well, both neckbeards and legbeards fear their headdresses look attractive and unique. Legbeards do not lift them to greet others. Indeed, a subtle but strange difference. It seems to me that these static cat ears might even be affixed to the head. I've never observed a legbeard sleeping myself, but until we're able to catch one slumbering in her nest, the theory stands. Interaction with this subspecies has shown that these beards will move, speak, and behave in the modes and methods of a stereotypical anime character. Additionally, Nekochanurai have incorporated a number of terms and/or phrases from their beloved animation's native tongue into their own speech. One of the most commonly used phrases that I have observed is baka, which apparently means stupid, which is fairly ironic considering the average IQ of legbeards. Perhaps they're trying to drag others down to their level in some sort of effort to try and communicate with them better. Strange creatures indeed, but the research is ongoing, as I've said. Now, encountering Nekochanurai in the wild can be both disturbing and confusing, as their hybrid speech and animalistic mannerisms are often employed to manipulate unsuspecting prey into unwanted socio-sexual interactions. We've seen this in the Fat Cat Girl's Legbeard video. I think there was a little bit of that in the Pika Bitch video. While this is a dangerous legbeard to encounter, it is also one of the easiest to identify, so you don't need to fear it as much as our next subject, which is the Beardicus arachnosanguis. Though still rare, the most common type of Beardicus feminae are known as the arachnosanguis, or arachnobeards. From the monstrously grotesque to the sublimely beautiful, arachnosanguinae may only be successfully recognized after prolonged contact. Their ability to camouflage themselves in Homo sapiens society is unmatched, to such a degree that even the most careful of researchers might overlook the minutiae of warning signs that they might superficially exude. Like the mythical sirens of Greek literature, they tempt and lull their victims into a false sense of security. Only then will the truly devious and warped machinations of this legbeard become apparent. As their prey lies docile in their web of deceptive normalcy, their toxic personalities begin to eat away at the self-esteem and sanity of their food supply, allowing this beard to drink the delicious mixture of fear, pity, guilt, and twisted attention that oozes from them. Legends tell of Arachnosanguinae attempting, and in many cases succeeding, in completely alienating their food source of family, friends, colleagues, and thus allowing the beard to feed deeply at their leisure. It was only after losing several experienced researchers to a cluster of Arachnosanguinae hiding amidst the tables of a gathering of Beardicus known as an MTG tournament that we were able to bring this data to light. And indeed, Godspeed to those poor souls. You know, science is about sacrifice. And these brave researchers gave up their lives in order to bring us more information about the legbeard subspecies Arachnosanguinae. Now, this entry does outline the most severe cases of the Arachnosanguinae, but in my experience, there are different degrees of this type of legbeard, which makes it even more interesting to research upon. We've got the kind legbeard, who didn't completely manage to alienate her prey from families and friends, but was definitely attempting to feed on some pity and some guilt. One of the most severe cases that we've seen was the castration legbeard, who lured her boyfriend in, drugged him, and tried to chop off his nuts. No joke, it is a video, please go look it up. It's terrifying. We've also got the case of Stealth Beard, which is still currently unfolding, but I have been told by the OP that that is indeed a case of Arachnosanguinae. It is absolutely terrifying that these creatures are out walking around amongst us, looking like normal people. So do be careful out there. Research is ongoing, so we might uncover some of their deepest, darkest secrets, but until that time, do indeed approach with caution. As we continue to unearth more quantifiable data about these creatures, we hope to find the clues that will someday lead us to a better understanding of both neckbeards and legbeards, and perhaps even a method by which we might develop a cure for their afflictions. That is indeed at least the end goal. Perhaps one day. Additionally, we hope by studying those individuals who have survived the cringe and horror of beardism, we might offer better assistance to those who are recovering. Bye for now. Excellent research as always, Mr. Firedrake. One of our leading researchers and perhaps one of the few who actually understands how dangerous it can be to get into this line of work. Not only to your physical health, but also your mental health. Immersing yourself in beardery is just never an easy thing, and we've seen many research facilities fall by the wayside in their study of the Beardicus because it does take a toll. Certain channels and people have decided that delving into the cringe daily was just too much for them. However, here at ReddX Industries, we are committed to bringing you the best because you deserve it. I do hope that it will help to keep you safe out there, and if you've got any experiences of your own that you would like to share, please head on over to reddit.com/ReddXReads and share your experience with me so that I might spread the word, share the experience here, and perhaps we can keep even more people safe. At least that's the hope. Currently, the only cure that we've found for beardery is self-reflection. But the problem that comes with self-reflection being the cure is that it needs to come from within. And quite frankly, too many in number are the Beardicus who are simply physically incapable of that sort of reflection. But science marches on. I thank you, Firedrake, for writing this up for us. I thank everyone else for joining us to consume and possibly even spread the word of the research that we're doing here. And with that out of the way, let us see if we can possibly define the legbeard in our next story. The legbeard of my nightmares, Sega. Sega! Sega! I think it's Saga. But that's cool. You can't edit the title. That's like one of Reddit's main weaknesses. But I still like it. Hi, Reddit. How are ya? I've been watching ReddX lately. Good choice. Good choice. Since his videos always make me laugh, or at least cringe, at the stories, I'm an American in the UK. If you're interested, I did an AMA post about it. But long story short, I fell in love with Yep. Not sure where that came from, but there it is. The cast. OP, 19-year-old American in the UK for the first time, meeting my long-distance boyfriend in person for the very first time. I'm kinda neckbeard bait. I'm curvy, but a healthy weight. a pale goth girl with black curly hair that is impossible to brush at times. Imagine a younger version of Bellatrix before she gone all crazy. Charlie, the 20-year-old ginger British man that I fell in love with. He's 6'4", tall boy, with shoulder-length ginger hair. He had punk-style clothing. He's kinda scary looking, but he also has an adorable cat named Jinx. Bonus points if you know the band member and band that the cat was named after. Let's see, Jinx. There's a character in League of Legends named Jinx. There's a reaction tuber with a bucket hat named Jinx. That's all that comes to mind right now. I guess I'm gonna have to miss out on them bonus points. Molly is Charlie's mother. She's kind and sweet. She's the only one in the family that doesn't have ginger hair. She had black hair that was coming back from chemo because she had liver cancer. Jesus. She's been in remission for 3 years now, going on 4 in December. Well, bless her for that. Hope she stays strong and healthy. She's not in this part, but she is a reference. Nick is Charlie's best friend. The most scary looking guy I ever saw. Black hair, full-on goth with piercings and makeup, but he is kind and sweet. He tattoos sick children. Thank God OP put some context for that. That sounds terrible. He gives tattoos to sick kids. They're actually just skin markers that'll last a few days, and he was actually the one that did my first tattoo. Sally, the Legbeard. She's the daughter of a family friend. She's overweight and just generally a horrible person. Although mostly just to me. She smells like hair bleach and had badly bleached blonde hair. I think she did it herself. Have you ever had your hair bleached? You know that horrible smell. To me, it smells like dirty cat litter. I grew up in the early 2000s. I had my hair bleached. You know, them frosted tips or whatever. Oh, what a time it was to be alive. Larry was Sally's friend. He's mentioned here and there. He is indeed a neckbeard. He reminds me of an adult version of Cartman from South Park. So he's not fat, he's just big bones. Background on my relationship. Charlie and I met on the website called Vampire Freaks. I'm not familiar. It's a goth version of social media. Well, okay, that's why I'm not familiar. He found my page and added me. I thought that he was cute and I shot him a DM. We started dating at 17 and 18. We would do video chat and he actually met my parents through video chat. Then my parents surprised me with plane tickets to the UK. Wow. When we met in person, we were both in tears and just couldn't believe that we were actually in the same place. I met my wife online too. I think it only took me 5 or 6 months to actually save up, get over to the Philippines, but once I did, I never left. I get it, OP. Love takes you to some strange places. And long distance relationships can definitely work as long as it's not long distance forever. You know what I mean? Anyways, here's the story. 3 days after meeting in person, I finally slept off the jet lag. He took me over to his favorite places, and we had our first kiss on the London Eye, which is a Ferris wheel, and I met his friends. Charlie, meet OP, my cute American girlfriend. Nick, oh, you're real? Nah, man, he just photoshopped some pictures of me. He laughed and hugged me. OP, I think so, unless I'm imaginary and you both need medication. Nick, oh, I like her. And then Charlie was like, you can't have her, she's mine. No, he didn't say that. We went to a pub where I met Sally since she was there with her family. Her voice echoed as she called Charlie and Nick as we sat at a booth. She walked over and sat down next to Charlie. She kind of pushed me out of the way when she did. I shrugged and just sat next to Nick with a look of confusion on my face. She started asking Charlie about his day and tried to flirt with him. Charlie, yeah, I'm well, Sally, but you kind of pushed my girlfriend, so can you two switch? Sally looked me up and down. She gave me kind of a mean look as she got up to switch seats with me. OP, hey, I'm OP, Charlie's girlfriend. Oh, I should be doing my horrible English accent for everybody here. English Legbeard, here it comes. Sally, what accent do you have? OP, American. Sally, what state? OP, Ohio. Sally,
That's a dumb name for a state.
Charlie, stop being rude. She doesn't make fun of our country.
Yeah, that's right. Look at me. I'm from Lincolnshire. That's a much better name, Lincolnshire.
I don't even know where Lincolnshire is, okay? It's just the first name that popped into my head. No shade, is what I'm saying. We continue chatting about my hometown and some sites that Charlie would like to see once he visits. Nick, I'd love to go to the Rock Hall. If you noticed, I did mention my hometown, home of rock and roll. Did you mention your hometown? I think you just said Ohio. OP, I love it there, but we also have a few more sites. Charlie, well, you just made a list of places in your city for us to visit. We continue to chat, and Nick gets to know me a little bit more. Charlie brought drinks, and this was my first culture shock. OP, I never drank before. Nick, what? No way. You must have. I shook my head and mentioned the drinking age in America, which is 21. They looked shocked and gave me my first drink. I took a sip of my beer and I kind of cringed at the taste. They laughed and told me that it's a taste that I had to get used to. We ate some food and drank our one and only drink. We paid and they kind of cringed some more when I offered to pay the tip. Sally stayed with her family. Charlie, we paid the service charge, so no tip needed. If we didn't do that, then yeah, we tip. That is a bit of culture shock. I remember going to Japan. Drinking age was 18 in Japan too. Ooh boy. The Navy did not know what they were in for, getting the 18-year-old dating drunk. And yeah, Japan doesn't do tipping either. They get a little bit offended if you offer to tip them, which I assume it's the same in Europe. In the Philippines, they're very grateful for a tip. Although you don't have to do it. I generally do. Just because, makes them feel good. I feel good. I like tipping. But anyways, I just blink and put my card away. I just had my first 2 culture shocks in one day. We walk out of the pub after paying. We went into a shopping center and got a few snacks for me to try. McCoy's, Ribena, and a twirl.
Okay, McCoy's, Ribena, and twirl. I'll go grab my jacket.
It's another Peep Show reference. I've watched that show so many goddamn times. Then we call a cab and went to Charlie's flat. We walk in the front door and went up the many stairs. Till this day, I still wonder why someone would design an apartment with 2 flights of stairs. Oh, that's right, OP's from Ohio. Come to New York, come to LA, you're gonna see a lot more stairs than 2. We decided to watch some movies. I connected my laptop to the TV and put on Netflix, till Sally called and asked to come over with
her guy friend.
Charlie just said, yeah, but told her that she had to be nice. After an episode of Doctor Who, with the 9th Doctor, Sally walks in, and with the same complaint as me when it comes to the stairs, although probably for a different reason. Sally,
I hate those stairs. This is Larry, me boyfriend.
Charlie, that's my exercise every day. It's better than the illegal flat that you lived in. Sally rolled her eyes. Nick had to go home, and it just left Charlie, Sally, Larry, and myself. I sat on Charlie's lap and cuddled him. He smiled and kissed my forehead. Oh, that honeymoon phase. Larry checked me out when Sally looked away. Charlie excused himself to the restroom, and this is where Sally began to make fun of me. Sally,
Americans are dumb and ugly. Your accent doesn't make sense. You shouldn't even be here with Charlie.
Charlie, that really hurt.
Date someone from your own country. Just because you showed up on his homepage on social media, it doesn't mean you answer his DM. Just go back to that pig country where you're from.
Oh yes, Sally, you are the definition of posh. You're so posh. I mean, a lot of Americans are dumb and ugly, but so are a lot of people from the UK. Dumb and ugly is not specific to any region. OP, but I'm the one with Charlie, not you. I don't know why you're being rude for no reason, and I don't know why you're hating on me. Last time I checked, I got his heart, his time, and quite possibly his last name, so you better get used to me. I just smiled and Charlie returned. I got up so we could go back to cuddling. I smile more and then kiss his cheek. And then cats do what they kinda do. Jinx decided to go on top of my laptop and log out of Netflix. Oh, good dexterity for a cat. It was getting late, and Charlie had Larry and Sally both leave. We had some adult fun on our own, and then fell asleep on the sofa in each other's arms as we whispered sweet nothings. In the morning, Charlie got dressed. Charlie was called into work for about 4 hours and told me to just entertain myself. And then we were going to Big Ben. I was wrapped up in a blanket. I decided to take a shower and then play with Jinx. I also took a few selfies. And then Sally DM'd me on Facebook, which wasn't too hard because Charlie had tagged me in his posts. I read the message. Sally,
Hiya, Peter! I'm sorry for being rude and coming off on the wrong foot.
OP, it's fine. Let's just get along for Charlie's sake. I put my phone down and decided to watch a little bit of YouTube to entertain myself. What you watching, ReddX? Cool. Mr. Worldwide over here. Stupid. I decided to do yoga poses, which is kind of hard to do in those ripped skinny jeans. I was just bored and waiting for my boyfriend. After 4 long hours, he came back and went up those stairs. I was too excited to see him. I kissed him and he just smiled as we packed up for a picnic. We went to Big Ben and took a few photos. We had fun. And at our picnic, guess who showed up? If you have guessed Sally, congratulations. You got a cookie. It was a picnic.
So we're just having a lovely, innocent picnic.
We had 4 flavors of crisps. Goddamn, this whole post makes me think of Peep Show. Sally said,
Charlie Bear!
I hide the fact that I was upset that she had completely killed the moment. She sat down and smelled worse than that hair bleach smell that she had yesterday. She smelled like rotten fish during a heat wave. Ugh. Ugh. And it's worse because you know that it's not just a rotten fish smell. You know, like, where that smell is coming from. And it's in your nose. And you basically just want to cut your nose off at that point. I've had it happen to me a few times here. And I'm just like, I feel so violated. It is the worst. She took a few pieces of candy and started talking about her engagement. Charlie, you just met him 2 weeks ago and now you're engaged? OP, engaged faster than military men in America. Sally,
It's true love, but the wedding is in 4 months.
Charlie, congratulations, but OP and I are kind of in the middle of a date. She ignored that and just continued chatting with Charlie. Even though she's newly engaged, she continued flirting with Charlie, who looked extremely uncomfortable. I made an excuse that my family wanted to video chat soon. Charlie and I pack up the picnic. We both went back to his flat, and I thought that that was the end of Sally. But of course, nope. Next part is when she invited me to go wedding dress shopping with her. Oh joy. Why would you agree anyways? You just be like, nah, you're a bitch. But also, I guess it's your boyfriend's friend, so maybe try and play nicey nice, I guess. TLDR.
A legbeard hates me. It tried stealing my boyfriend away because Americans are not good enough for a British man.
Good enough to beat their ass in a war. Oh, snap! Anyways, thank you for reading. Sorry if this is a little cringe, but I'm learning how to use Reddit as I go. So have a good day, or night, or whatever. Man, I thought like English people was supposed to be subtle. Doesn't sound like Sally has a subtle bone in her entire body. I have experienced kind of the same thing, you know. Get the 5th degree from Filipino guys about why I decided to marry a Filipina. And my general answer is like, duh, the heart wants what it wants, man. She's beautiful, she's smart, she's brilliant, she's selfless. She's the greatest wife and mother that I've ever seen. She has infinite patience for me being a dumb fuck up. She likes me despite my flaws. Need I go on? Like, I'm pretty sure the only reason that they're asking is because they would have married her if they'd gotten half the chance. But too bad I swooped in there. She mine now. Forever and always. God, I love my wife. So I definitely get moving across the ocean to be with the one that you want. I've been over here for 5 years now. We've been married for 4. I still haven't gotten all my marriage visa paperwork and stuff all done. We've been putting that stuff off pretty hardcore, mostly because I didn't have much money at the time. I was like making money via blog posts and stuff, but now that the YouTube's taken off, we can actually process some paperwork and get it done. So that's what we're working on. I know I talk pretty often in the Discord about, oh, I'm gonna be gone for a couple days, going to Manila, a little bit more passport stuff, but it's all for the greater good. The greater good. Luckily, there ain't no Sally in my personal story. That woman sounds like an absolute pill. You know what her intentions are with your boyfriend, and honestly, I would push her as far away as possible. Though I do get it, it's earlier in the relationship. You don't feel quite comfortable bringing that subject up during the honeymoon phase, or it's gonna put a damper on basically everything else. But there will come a point where you're comfortable enough with each other and you can be like, hey, she makes me uncomfortable. Don't come at it from a direction of you need to not hang out with her. Just tell him how it makes you feel when she is around. And he seems like a good egg at the very least, so he probably will respond to that positively and be like, I don't even like Sally. She just kind of follows me around. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I definitely like hearing some stories from across the pond, as they say. I'm also across the pond, but it's the Pacific Ocean, which is more like a lake. I'm basically on the other side of the world, but I still like reminiscing. Hearing about a bit of culture shock also brings up some of the times that I have been exceedingly culture shocked in my life. So pretty cool that you were able to do all that, OP, that your parents were able to finance it. Ooh, absolutely killer. So yeah, OP, thank you very much for writing what you have. I hope we'll get another part eventually. You have been bookmarked, and I would like to share some more of your stories when you get a chance. No rush, you know. But if we could get a second Legbeard saga rolling on the channel along the same time as Stealthbeard, 2 Legbeard sagas, bro, that is exceedingly rare. So I'm definitely grateful. I hope that you guys will like, comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy the episode. Maybe share it around if you should like. We've also got links in the description, all kinds of stuff. Wifey's channel, Mr. and Mrs. ReddX, the Teespring if you're trying to rock that Neckbeard merch. My personal subreddit, r/ReddX Reads, where both of these stories came from today. We got Darkly Studios over on Twitter. I'm gonna have some new character animations up pretty soon for you guys, and I'm looking forward to that. And then we've also got my Amazon affiliate link, currently goes to my microphone, but if you buy anything else on Amazon after clicking that link, I get a little bit of a kickback, which is pretty cool if you're gonna buy something anyways, you know, just wanted to help out old Red. That's what we call a win-win. We also got my social medias down there, Twitter, Discord, Facebook, oh, and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. Thank you so much to them. But especially ZeroMMX, Lady Nix, Robert Waits, Cider Drinker, Tato Ferret, The Last Shinobi, Aaron W, John Hero, Candy Sora, Fire Drake, Little Lone Wolf, Miss Monday, Silent Revolver, JM Coon, Leon Embers, TSM Kirby, Redwind, Synaptic Boomstick, Jerry, Staples, Yeet, Cake Jerry, that's a different Jerry, my boy Nat One Nick, Brilliant Tamago, Jelly Donut, Livison, James Cook, Aaron Lennox, Serrata Dash, The Maestro, Zuka, A Roxors, John Indoors, Princess Rosalie, Zatharus, Vanilla Mel, Syad Step, Teddy the Police, Mr. J13X, and we got 2 new patrons today. Bruh, 3 days in a row, 2 days in a row is 2 new patrons. I can't do the math right now, but I'm super stoked, you guys. Holy crap, the Patreon's blowing up. Thank you guys so much to Ghosty and KK. KK, total OG of the channel. She been here since the beginning. I know that girl. So it's really nice to see you on the Patreon. Thank you so much. Obviously, if anybody else can help support the channel monetarily, that is absolutely massive. Thank you guys so much in advance. But if you can't right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. Because really,
the views is how my beard gets buttered.
You like that English accent? I think it's pretty cringe. That's nice. In order to join us again, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe watch some more ReddX Legbeard videos. That'd be cool. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I will see you in the next one. And until then, bye-bye.